Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. As you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, we are talking about my Book of the Month membership process. Now this is meant as a kind of like a how-to guide video based on how I personally use my Book of the Month membership. And something I love, I mentioned this in the description, I'm going to go over my description, but something I love about Book of the Month is that your credits can usually build up, kind of like the Barnes & Noble rewards, where once you hit $5, $10, you can build it up. It doesn't expire unless you cancel your membership or you don't have like an automatic renewal set in place. So it's similar to the Barnes & Noble reward system in that sense. And like I mentioned, this is on how to best utilize based on what I have done, and in my opinion, how to best utilize one of the plans if you use Book of the Month frequently enough. And again, I will repeat that, if you use Book of the Month frequently enough. Because if you don't use it frequently enough, or if you're constantly like pausing or skipping, then this might not be the video for you. These might not be the tactics for you to use in regards to your Book of the Month membership. It may not be the plan that's best for you in regards to Book of the Month. So take all of that into consideration, and I do have some notes, which again, down below in the description, and I have a little thumbnail thing talking about that. But to go over them, first things first, I wasn't sure if I had to burp or not. First things first, not every plan works for everybody. So there are 3 plans. There's the 1 credit per month plan. There's the 2 credit per month plan, and then there's the annual membership. And those are the 3 ones that Book of the Month offers. Now, not everyone will work for every person, and not everyone will work for every person in the same ways. So just be aware for that. Be aware of that going in, because the plan that I use the 2 credit plan. That might not work for you. The way that I use the 2 credit plan might not work for you. The 2 credit plan might work for you, but the way I utilize it might not work for you. So keep that in mind. The second thing is, for me personally, I've only tried the $16.99 per credit plan, which is like the 1 credit per month plan, and then the $14.99 per credit plan, which is the 2 credits per month plan. So I've only tried those 2. This video is going into it with very little knowledge about the annual membership, and I will go over like the different plans and a couple of different little things after this, but just so you're aware, I'm going into this with little to no knowledge, with the very basic, bare minimum knowledge about the annual plan. The third thing is that this, like I've mentioned, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it, this video best suits the $14.99 per credit, the 2 credit per month plan, and this can potentially work for the $16.99 per credit plan, the 1 credit per month plan. It can potentially work for this. These tips, the way I utilize, can potentially work for the 1 credit per month plan, depending on how you tweak things and depending on how you tweak the tips that I'm going to give a little bit later. But it can potentially work for the 1 credit per month plan. It can potentially work for the annual one. I just don't know, because with the annual plan, you do get all 12 credits up front. So, the next one, the 4th thing I want to note is that audiobooks are your friends in this case. I kind of don't like using the audiobooks in the Book of the Month app. So oftentimes what I will do is I will get the audiobook and then borrow the audiobook from Libby or Hoopla, or I'll also get the physical book either from my physical library, or I'll buy it depending on how invested I am in the book, and then I'll mark the audiobook as read in the Book of the Month app. But audiobooks are your friends, and I will explain why later. But Again, I don't know if I'm gonna burp or not. Like, anyway, so audiobooks are your friends. They're a great way to build up credits. It's a great way to add into the challenges that Book of the Month has. I'm not going to talk about the challenges in this video, but it's a great way to add into the challenges depending on what point of the year you're at and what audiobooks you still need to listen to at which point in the year. But audiobooks are your friends. The fifth thing is that this Book of the Month, it is a monthly commitment deal, but at the same time it's not, in the sense that Book of the Month offers pauses and skips. If you don't necessarily want to cancel, but you don't necessarily have the funds or don't have the time, or for maybe don't have the energy for a book that specific month, you can pause or skip a month. Or you can pause for up to for between 1 and 3 months. You can pause for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And I've utilized that quite a few times. But it is a monthly commitment deal, but it's also not. So they offer you options if you don't want to cancel, but you need a little bit of a breather for whatever reason. And then the sixth one is, this is just like a note to remember, and that is if you don't pause or skip. So basically what happens when you pause or when you skip is that, let's say, okay, it's August right now. So let's say you paid for August, but you decided to skip August. Then those will transfer over to September. And you won't have to pay for September. And let's say in September you decide to get a book and you use your credits. You won't have to pay for September, and then the next payment you make will go towards October's credits. So that's what happens when you skip. And then it's kind of similar with when you pause. Like, let's say you get your Book of the Month for August, and you pay for it, you get your credits, and then you get a book, and then you decide you need a pause. So you pause for, let's say, 1 month. You pause for September. You will not have to pay for September, and then once you renew it, you will pay for October's. Now, depending on when the charges are set up, the payment for October might happen in September, but that will go towards October's books. Again, depending on when exactly the payment goes through and when your card is charged. So that is something to remember. Something to remember is that if you don't pause or skip, you will still be paying for the credits. Even if you use them later, you did still pay for them. So one of the tips, or some of the ways I utilize my membership, is that I will build up my credits. I will save credits for a splurge if I feel like I need a splurge, or for my birthday splurge. I will build up credits. And yes, I'm saving them for a splurge day or a rainy day. So if I've saved up 5 or 6 credits, which I haven't done yet, but I have saved up 3-4 credits. And even if I save them, so let's say I'm on the 2 credit per month plan. So let's say August, September, October, my birthday is in November, so August, September, October, I only use 1 of my credits, which means, so each of the months I got $3 using 1 of the credits. So that means I have 3 credits remaining. And then November rolls around, and then I decide to get 3 extra books in my box on top of the free book that is my Book of the Month choice. So I still paid for those 3 extra credits, even though I'm using them at a later date. I didn't pay for them in that specific month, but they still were paid for. So that's the example. To get into this video because it's been a little too long now, a little too much explaining. I have 6 tips. Again, this is best utilized for the 2 credit per month plan, but again, depending on if you can tweak any of these, you can use these for the other plans as well. So first and foremost, you're getting 2 credits a month. You're paying about $14.99, $15 per month for 2 credits. Get only 1 book. Get only your Book of the Month book or a member fave if none of the ones are interesting you. Get 1 book per month, and then you're going to start saving up. So If you get one book, you still have a credit. The next month, get one book, and then you still have a credit. So at this point, so again, let's use like August. So August, get one book. You have still one more credit from August. September, get a book, get one book, and then you have another credit from September. So you still have 2 credits. October, get 1 credit, or get 1 book, and you still have a credit. So now you have 3 credits built up. So get 1 book per month, and it doesn't have to be consecutively. Let's say like August you get 1 book, so you have 1 credit, and then October you get 2 more credit. Okay, so August you get 2 credits, you use 1, so you have 1 left over, and then October you get 2 more credits, so you have 3. And so you use 1 credit, and then you have 2 remaining. And then it goes into September, 2 more credits, so you have 4. But you use 1, and then you have 3. You have 3 credits remaining. It can either be like that, but it does not have to be consecutive. So let's say August, you get your 2 credits. August, 2 credits, and then you use 1, so you have 1 remaining. And then okay, so here, August you get 2 credits, you use 1, so you have 1 remaining. This will be my remaining hand. And then it goes into September, so you get 2 credits in September. Let's say there are 2 books that interested you, so you get 2. You still have that 1 credit left over, and then going on to October, you get 2 more credits. Let's say only 1 book interests you, or there's only 1 on your radar that you really want. So you get 1, and then now you have 2. So you don't have to necessarily do it consecutively, but try to get 1 book per month. Try to save up some of the credits. So for my earlier example, my initial example with the consecutive, so credits hand remaining. So August you get 2, you use 1, and then you have 1 remaining. And then you get to September, you get 2, you buy a book, and then you have 2 credits. October, you get 2 credits, and at this point, if you feel like a little bit of splurge, you can use all 4, or you can use 3, or you can use 2 credits. But let's say again, you just get 1, so you get 1 book, and then you have 3 remaining. So that kind of a deal, and it will build up over time. So that's the first tip. 1 book per month. It does not necessarily have to be consecutive, although consecutive does help. The second tip is when you feel like having a splurge, then use any of your extra credits you've accumulated. So again, it doesn't have to be consecutive. And depending on how you work it in your head, technically, like whatever you get September, let's say you get 2 books in September, your credit from August could be paying for could be covering one of your September. Like depending on how you want to phrase it, you are using any credits you accumulate when you get 2 or more books by saving up credits you accumulate. So if you feel like doing a splurge, do a splurge with the credits you've accumulated. The third thing is if there's a book you really want, then use your credits for that book. Don't hold off, especially if it's a popular book, because oftentimes book of the month will sell out of the popular books, and then depending on the need, it may or may not bring those books back in stock. So if there's a book you really want, go ahead and get it with your extra credits. If there's a book that you really want, there's a reason why you really want it. So, and you are paying for your credits, you are paying for these books. So at the end of the day, get the book. The fourth thing is get an audiobook as your month's choice every once in a while. Again, it does not have to be consecutive, it does not have to be every single month, but get an audiobook every once in a while. Because one, like I mentioned, audiobooks are your friends. They can add into any of the challenges. I think there's like an all ears one, and then where you have to listen to a certain amount of audiobooks in the year. And then there's an Out of the Horse's Mouth, which is 3 audiobooks narrated by the author. So they will add into those specific challenges, and then they'll also add into the overall challenge. Audiobooks are your friends. Audiobooks count as reading. Okay, that time I did have to burp. Excuse me, even though I did not burp on camera. And also, where it really comes in handy is that if you get 5 audiobooks, again, it does not have to be consecutive months. It does not have to be over the course of 5 months. Get 5 audiobooks. But if you get 5 audiobooks, you will get a free credit. And free is kind of like loose in air quotes, because like you did pay for your credits to be able to get the audiobooks. So it's like, it's free yet not free. So yeah, get 5 audiobooks to get an extra free credit, and that will add into the accumulation, and that'll be like an extra one. So let's say you're in October and you have 3, and then by October you've gotten 5 audiobooks. Okay, yeah, by October, let's say you've gotten 5 audiobooks, and that means a credit. So now October, you have 4 credits. So it is your friend in that sense as well. Boy, my throat's kind of dry. Anyway, the 5th one is I was going to explain some of this stuff. I will do that afterwards. I realized I was going to explain the friendship statuses. So try to get to the BFF status. You have more perks that way. Again, you do not have to get to BFF status to enjoy Book of the Month, but it can help in the long run with more perks and less. I think when you have add-on, if you don't, let's say like on the 2 credit per month plan, for August you get 2 books, and then you want like a 3rd add-on, but you don't have like a 3rd credit saved up. It's only like that 3rd book will only be like $11.99 versus $16.99. So try to get to BFF status. But again, it's not necessary to enjoy Book of the Month. It's not necessary for Book of the Month to get to BFF status, but it is a perk, and it is useful in some senses. So the very last one I want to recommend is try to plan for a birthday splurge. And this will include like trying to build up any credits. So like I said, my birthday is in November. As of right now, I do not know how many credits I have saved, just because I am recording this a little bit in advance. But going back on my earlier example, so by November I have 3 credits saved up, and then I have 3 credits saved up on top of the 2 that I get from that month. So November I get 2 credits, and then I have the 3 saved up, and then I get a free book if I'm a BFF. I get a free book, so that means I have 4 extra credits. Again, it's up to $5, but so at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 credits in total. Well, I have 5 credits in total, but one of them is a free book. So I have the option for a free book, and then 2 other credits will go towards the 2 other books. So again, the free book will be for BFF status. So plan for a birthday splurge, because being able to have like 2 credits plus a free book, that's 3. So that's 3 books you can get in a box. And if you have credits saved up, again, you can get up to 5 books in a box. So you can get up to 5 books in total, depending on how to utilize your membership. So that is that. And then I'm going to go over a couple of links in the description, but I do have some actual links. I have the Book of the Month website, and then I have their help center where you can view any of the other links that I have linked down below, and then I'll go over. And then I have the relationship status. I have my own Book of the Month referral link if you want to refer to that. This is not sponsored. And then I have my Book of the Month playlist. And through my Book of the Month referral link, you can get a free hat. So if you're a hat person, it's like a baseball cap type hat. If you're a hat person, check out my referral link to see what kind of hat you can get. So to go over the links, so Reader's Guarantee. This is something that I kind of liked that Book of the Month had. But what is your Reader's Guarantee? We want you to discover friction outside your reading comfort zone. Because of this, we understand that you may try something you don't love. That's why we offer our Reader's Guarantee. If you don't enjoy your pick, let us know and we'll replace it for free in your next box. So I'm not saying you should get Book of the Month and then not enjoy books so you can get the Reader's Guarantee. However, I do think that they offer that is a really good sign, because you're not going to enjoy every book, especially if you're trying out of your comfort zone. You're not going to enjoy every book. Yes, you might enjoy a book that's outside of your comfort zone, but it's like a 50-50 chance if it's outside of your comfort zone. So now the single credits per month plan, to divert topics a little bit. Again, it's been really hot lately, so the AC unit is on for right now. Single credit is basically $16.99 per month, $16.99 per credit, 1 credit per month. And basically, once you're charged, you get the credits. And then once that month rolls around, so let's say August, you get charged for your credits. Usually, they try to charge you by the end of the month, I think, based on when you sign up or when you resume your membership if you pause it. But it's usually around the end of the last week or so of the previous month is when they charge you. So August, you get 1 credit, and then you can use that credit for a Book of the Month book from one of the 5 to 7 options. And if you're not into one of the choices for that month, you can choose from hardbacks or audiobooks. For the hardbacks specifically, if you're not into any of the books from that, you can skip the month. Well, before you skip, for hardbacks, you can skip for hardbacks or audiobooks. But for hardbacks, if you're not into any of the options for August, you can choose a member rate. Okay, so I am a little bit gassy today. That's weird. Anyway, you can choose a member favorite if you're not into any of August choices, any of the August choices. So basically that, and then if nothing is interesting you, you can skip for that month. And like I mentioned earlier, you won't be charged for September if you skip August. So that's how that works. For the 2 credit plan, you get 2 credits each month for, again, $14.99 per credit. So it's like 30 something, around 30 something dollars per month. I wasn't phrasing that correctly. $16.99 per month is the 1 credit per month. And then $14.99 per credit, which is about 30-ish per month. This is all US dollars. So each month you can use the audiobooks or the hardbacks. You can use 1 or both of the credits to go towards your Book of the Month choices. And again, from the hardbacks, if none of them are interesting you, you can choose a member favorites, and then you can add on a second book using that second credit. Or you can skip the month. So that's how the 2 credit plan works. Now, this is the one I know the least about, the annual membership where you get 12, but here's what it says on the site. Upon becoming an annual member, you will get 12 credits upfront. You will be renewed approximately 12 months from your annual membership enrollment, or once you use up all your credits, whichever comes first, unless you cancel prior to your annual renewal date. If you use all 12 credits prior to your annual renewal month, your membership will get the same great benefits as our monthly members. Your credits can be used on selections, add-ons, or audiobooks interchangeably. So it's kind of like the same thing, where it's like you don't necessarily have to use up all your credits in one go, and you kind of can't, because depending on your status, it's up to 5 books in a box. or actually for both, it's up to 5 books in a box. So you can use up to 5 credits. So that means, let's say you're getting 5 books in each box. So that would be 2 months. And then the next month, you would have to use those last 2 credits before it would renew. But that, again, that's if you're getting a bunch of books in a couple of months, which I'm not necessarily promoting. But having this can kind of help, because it can help you be like, okay, I don't want to go for this month, I'm going to skip it. And it'll be a little bit easier to skip because you'll still have... I forgot my bunny was out. She's just in a little bookshelf corner. It might help having 12 months. I can't do it. This is... I don't know how much fun this one is. But, you can't skip, and you won't necessarily have to wait for more credits to come in or to be charged for them. You'll just have to wait for the next month's options. Forgot what I was just saying. You just have to wait for the next month's options to see if you want any books. And me giving the option of, oh, you can get 5 books in each box in 2 months, and then the third month you can get 2 books. You don't have to do that. Again, that's not something I'm promoting. I'm just saying, if it were to renew sooner, that would be like the soonest amount of time. Within 3 months would be the soonest amount of time it would renew. So that is the annual membership. At least that's how I think it works. And then for the friend versus BFF. So friend, you have to get up to 3 boxes. And usually this is consecutive or within a short amount of time. It's consecutive. You have to start off by getting these things consecutively to hit certain statuses. So a friend, 3 boxes consecutively. You save $5 on add-ons. You ship. So before you become a friend, you can, I think it's up to 4 books each month you can ship. And then once you hit the friend status, then that's when you can ship up to 5 books each month. And then with the friends, up to 3 boxes consecutively that you have shipped to yourself that you've gotten, that's when you can start to cast your vote for the Lolly Award. So those are the 3 benefits for the friendship status, the friend status. And then for the BFF, again, 12 boxes consecutively. Save $5 in add-ons like the friends. The same 3 as the friends status. So save $5 on add-ons, ship up to 5 bucks each month, and cast your vote for the Lolly. But there are 4 other little perks that you can get with the BFF status. And that is getting a free tote bag. I remember this... I don't remember the free tote bag from... Is this a yearly thing? I don't think it's a yearly thing. I think I know where my tote is. I don't know where it is actually, but I think I still have it just because of the move. Anyway, so you get a free tote bag. You enjoy a free birthday book credit. That's each year. You choose a free Lolly book each year. So once the Lolly is chosen, then you get to choose either the Lolly winner or from one of the Lolly finalists for your box. And then you can call the BFF hotline for priority service. What's the BFF hotline? I'm gonna try to find the BFF hotline. Oop. I closed out of the last one. So, the last one I wanted to talk about, because I feel like this one is important. So, your relationship status, friend or BFF. This can reset. And this might affect the credits. I don't know because mine hasn't reset. Yeah, mine hasn't reset. But if you cancel your membership and later rejoin, your progress or status will reset from the beginning. So let's say you hit BFF status, but you cancel it, and then you rejoin at a later date. Then you will be back at the beginning, and then to reach BFF status again, you'll have to get 12 bucks again, or 12 boxes shipped to you again. However, if you were to join within 30 days of canceling, you will retain your loyalty. So let's see. It's August right now. August. it's August 20th right now. So 30 days from August 20th. Again, this is as an example. 30 days from August 20th, 2026. So 30 days from August 20th would be September 19th. So let's say you canceled today, August 20th, and you rejoin within that 30-day window. So by September 19th, you rejoin. Your status will remain the same. Your friendship status will, your loyalty status will remain. You will retain that. However, if it's past that 30-day window, if it's after September 19th, that's not something you will retain. BFF hotline. I want to find the BFF hotline. That might be in the app. So, yeah, that's on my phone right now. And I don't feel like logging out my computer. So, anyway. If you use Book of the Month, let me know what your favorite parts of it are. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below with your favorite book that you've gotten and or discovered from Book of the Month. Again, if you've gotten this far in the video, what's your favorite book from Book of the Month that you've gotten? Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.